Hi everyone, welcome to the Laser channel where we learn, create, and share. My name is Greg, and I'm going to start things out with a big thank you to the good folks over at Longer for sending me the Ray5 miniS. That is also why I have this video marked as paid promotion. I'm not being paid to say or do anything specific. Instead, they sent me this machine so that I can share my experiences with all of you. Let's get to know the Ray5 miniS. It's part of the Ray series of machines by Longer. This one, being a mini machine, is going to be lighter and more portable, and the S is going to designate that this machine does have an eye-friendly laser enclosure around it. When we turn the box to the side, we're going to check out some of the different options that the machine is available in. The machine is available in a number of different laser module wattages, including a 2.5 watt that comes in at $139 US, a 3.5 watt laser module that comes in at $179 US, and the machine that I have, a 5.5 watt, coming in at $229 US. After a quick look at the outside of the box, now it's time to open it up and check out the machine itself. Right away on top is the user guide. Whoa, check this out. The machine comes fully assembled, only fitment of the laser modules needed to get up and running. The machine includes everything needed to get up and running, including the power pack module, USB cable for computer connection, focusing gauge for the laser module, a wrench for basic maintenance on the machine, and a brush for cleaning debris away from projects. The work area is 130 by 140 millimeters. The speed comes in at 12,000 millimeters per minute. That's going to be 200 millimeters per second. Safety comes in the form of an easy access emergency button on the side of the machine, an interlock switch that stops all motion on the machine when the lid is opened. And lastly, there's this beautiful eye-friendly orange laser enclosure. This wraps all the way around the machine for easy viewing during the projects. On the back, there's even a large exhaust fan. And something that I've never seen on one of these wraparound enclosures, it also even includes the bottom, ensuring that none of the laser light escapes out of the bottom of the machine. Let's talk about software. The Ray5 miniS is going to be compatible with all of today's popular software packages, including the free Laser Gerbil software, the software from Longer called LasarBurn, which is what I'll be using in today's video, and the paid version of LasarBurn Software. Longer also has a mobile app that I can design and send projects out to my laser machine. I've downloaded the free LasarBurn software and I have it connected up to the machine. That is very easy, and I'm guided through step by step with the included user manual for the machine. One important thing to note is before I attempt to connect the computer up to the laser machine, the manual does specify that I do need to download a software driver called Ch340, and that is available directly from Longer. LasarBurn software, along the left-hand side here, I've got all of my drawing tools. I can import my own graphics files, do some text, create a QR code, and here's some built-in graphics directly in the software. And directly below that is AI image generation. This is going to be text to graphic. Across the top of the screen are going to be my graphic modifiers and positioning of the laser module and the size and position of my graphic. On the far right-hand side, I've selected the device tab, and that shows me that I am in fact connected to the Ray5 miniS. When I switch over to the layer tab, once I start drawing things here, this area is where I'm going to start entering in my speed and power settings. And I've got a number of different layers here. Each layer can be a different cut or engraved setting. This all looks pretty neat, but let's check it out in action by starting to create some projects. Project number 1 is going to be on this round Slate coaster. And for the graphic, I think I'll use a built-in graphic within the software. I'm going to pick this graphic, which is a nice mandala design, and I can grab the corner to stretch that out so that fits over my work material. We'll see on my layer control tab that I now have this populated. I'm going to select line, and I'm going to switch that over to a fill engraving. I'm going to switch the laser type over to the 5.5 watt laser and change the power up to 100%. And the speed, I'll change that to 75 millimeters per second. Next, all I need to do is place my work material inside of the machine, frame it out so that I know that the graphic is placed in the correct area within the software and that the laser is always going to be traveling over my work material. I'll also set the focus as well. A little while later and the project is all complete. The computer software estimated the time to be about 1 hour and 20 minutes, which I knew wasn't right. The actual time took only 18 minutes and 11 seconds. Project 1 is all complete, and now it's time to move on to project number 2, this thick piece of pine board. The second project, I am going to use the AI image generation. Here's what the AI generator looks like. It has a reference image that it will take into account when we enter in the text of what we'd like the graphic to look like. And since we're doing laser engraving, I want to do something that looks kind of like this, block printing. Now I can go in here and type in what type of picture I'd like it to create. How about this? A happy fox sitting by a campfire drinking coffee. A few moments later, and this is what the software came up with. It looks like it's a happy fox sitting by a campfire drinking some coffee. I'm going to click on the download button here and save it to my local hard drive and then re-import it back into the project. I'll import that image by going over to Image and just clicking on the file I just downloaded and open, and there it is. When I zoom in, it's a pretty nice high quality image, and right now it is set to grayscale, and I want to do actually monochromatic. I want to have it just a simple black and white engraving. The project's resized, and I'm going to double click and get some settings here. We're going to set this over to threshold, that way it's still just black or white. And we're going to select the laser type once again to that 5.5 laser. We're going to bump up the power, and we're going to set the speed at about 80 millimeters per second this time. This all looks good. I'll get the material placed inside of the machine, set the focus, and I'll be ready to hit the start button and start project number 2. 42 minutes and 12 seconds later, the project is complete, and in hindsight, I think I could have ran a little bit faster speeds and reduced the total engraving time, but this is part of the laser channel where we do some learning. Here we are, our happy fox sitting by a campfire. Right now I've got quite a bit of smoke residue across the surface. I'm gonna grab some LA's Totally Awesome and get this washed up. LA's Totally Awesome is my favorite cleaner for removing smoke residue off of projects. Project 2, if I'm being totally awesome, I have some mixed feelings about this. While I love the incredible detail that the laser is able to produce on this block of pine, I think the block of pine wasn't a good selection material for something that detailed. If we take a look at the back side, we're going to see that there's all these different colors in the wood grain. And I think that kind of camouflages all the detail that's being hidden on this happy fox sitting by a campfire drinking a cup of coffee. Project number 3 is going to be this piece of laser quality bass plywood. This is going to be about 1/8 of an inch thick, or about 2.5 millimeters for those of us on the metric system. Because I am cutting, I do want to protect the surface underneath the laser, and this aluminum foil is going to act as a perfect laser barrier. I'm also going to stand my work material up off that aluminum foil with a couple of blocks of wood. I always like to have a little bit of airflow underneath my project material when cutting. I get a cleaner cut on the back side of the material by doing that. Project number 3, I've got the material already inside of the machine. I set the focus, and we'll also see during the cutscenes of the project being made that I do have it held down with some blue painter's tape to ensure that the project material doesn't shift around during the project laser time. Here's the project graphic that I chose for project number 3. I've got a dragon, and there's a different color line for the outside, and let's check out the dragon itself. When I move over to the layers, we're going to see that I do have it set to line. It is going to just simply be engraving that line. I won't be cutting all the way through the material. I'm going to be running at a lower power level at 85% and a speed of 75 millimeters per second. And I'm going to turn on dynamic power, which means as the laser has to slow down to make the corners, it is also going to automatically reduce the laser output. The red layer, layer 02, is also set to line, but this I'm going to be cutting out. Power level is at 100% and the speed is slowed way down so that we can cut all the way through. I have that set at 6 millimeters per second. If that doesn't cut all the way through, I can always go back through and add another pass. It's really that easy to create a project on the Ray5 miniS. I place some material inside of the machine, setting the focus. I import a graphic and I pick some settings, and just like that, I'm ready to hit the start button. The total project time only took a couple of minutes, and for the cutout, I did do several passes. I did check in between the passes, and it's basically all cut out. There's just one little spot where it's still kind of hung up. I'll take a look at the back side before I break this free, and we see it's a nice clean cutout, and with it being spaced up, you don't get any laser bounce off of the aluminum inside, meaning the back side is nice and clean. I can see that there's a tiny little spot up at the top where it's still connected, and maybe a couple spots over here. So the laser can cut through, and it just pops right out. And here's project number 3. I've got some better settings in the camera so that we can better see this nice sharp line engraving, and the cutout turned out pretty well too. And in fact, there's basically no char left on the edges. Well, I like the way that most of the projects turned out in today's video. The Slate coaster, beautiful detail, sharp engraving, and the last project where we did the line engraving and the cutout, the 5.5 watt laser, is able to cut this 1/8 inch laser quality plywood. Project number 2, when I did the image engraving, while the detail is great, the material I selected was probably not the best type of material to use, but I did want to use just a block of pine to demonstrate all the different materials that the machine is compatible with. By the way, there's a lot more than just this that the machine is compatible with. There's all kinds of different materials that you can check out on the longer website. I'll have a link for that down below. So what do I think about the Ray5 miniS? Well, I think it's a great entry-level machine, especially if you're on a budget, and it doesn't skip on the safety features. The eye-friendly laser enclosure, I didn't detect any scatter light coming through any of the seams, and definitely not coming out from underneath. I also like the idea that there's a built-in e-stop on the side of the machine, and if the lid is open while the machine is running a project, the laser and the machine immediately stop. Setting the focus of the laser is really easy with the included gauge block. We simply set that on top of the material and then lower the laser head on top of that. adjusting the laser head is done with a little thumb screw that's on the side. I tried taking a video of that, but my arms and hands get in the way of the camera view, so I thought, well, it's pretty straightforward and really easy to set. The included or built-in exhaust fan on the back of the machine actually does a really good job of exhausting all the smoke fumes out of the machine. The only thing that I would like to see on the exhaust fan is some way to connect a hose up to it so that I can get that exhaust smoke and residue out of the work area and maybe out of a window a bit easier, but I think that's just one of the things that's a part of this being a budget machine. I like the idea of these entry-level budget machines to help get people introduced into laser engraving without making a huge investment or having a machine that takes up a large amount of space. I especially like the idea that Longer provides the LasarBurn software for free. It's feature-packed and it's very easy to use. Well, you've heard about what I think about the machine. If you have one of these machines or you're looking at it, let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Don't forget to show this video some love by giving it a like or subscribing to the channel. Not only is it a great way to help this channel grow, it's an awesome way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like you. And until we meet again in the next video, I'm Greg from the Laser Channel, where we learn, create, and share.